Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers will practically build themselves.
The original Sherman design included both cast and welded upper hulls. In a rush to increase production, it was noted that the cast hulls could be manufactured cheaper and faster than welded hulls, with a large saving of welding rod and labor. However, in October of 1942, it was concluded that while conversion to all cast hulls might be advantageous, it was not feasible under current industrial conditions. In that same month, the Ordnance Department, in conjunction with the Chrysler Corporation, began design work on a cast front end that offered a partial solution to the higher cost of an all-welded upper hull, since the front is where a good deal of the welding man-hours were spent. Also, the front casting, as shown in some of these pictures, was a fraction of the size of a complete cast hull, so could be produced by smaller capacity foundries. Most of the composite hulled Shermans wound up in the Pacific. Not all. There were some that went to the European theater, but as you see from these pictures, mostly taken on Luzon and some other places in the Pacific, Okinawa, well, a lot of them did go to the Pacific. And so that's what I wanted to model, because, well, that's where my dad served, was in the Philippines. And even though he was in an anti-tank platoon, when we would talk about tanks or armor that would help to support the unit, the 25th, which he was with, I would ask him, and he didn't know about Shermans. They were all just tanks to him. So, but as I showed him some pictures in later years, he would identify that, yeah, these are the tanks that they dealt with, that were supporting them. So, anyway.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kit Hoarder Stash. Today I have another Sherman kit. This one's by Tasca, Zuka, whatever you want to call them. This is the M4 Composite Hull. So this would be a Pacific Sherman, and that's exactly why I wanted to build this. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to open up that box and we're going to go through this and we're going to see what's in it.
So here's the box. I picked this up at Kit Links. I had seen that it was on sale, and the problem with this company is they do kind of a run and then they're out for a while, and well, I saw my opportunity, so I jumped on it. Here's the side of the box. Great look at decals. And here's the other side of the box. Some of the features that this has. Again, this is a late version, meaning that it has a it has a loader's hatch in the turret. So anyway, and the 75 gun. So here is the instructions, typical Tasca instructions. To me, I'll be honest with you, they've always seemed a little complicated. People say that about Dragon instructions. I don't have a problem with Dragon instructions. These are actually the ones I have more of a problem with than anything. But anyway, going through the basic assembly, and of course it makes it clear what you need to use. So that's the one thing about these instructions. They are very clear. This is the part that you need to use. Of course, it comes with other parts in the kit that you may not be using on this particular model. And here we are at the end. And the marking of the tank, of course, it's, OD, olive drab. Different markings, the paint callouts for some of the different things that you would need to paint. But, most of it's olive drab. There you go. Okay, let's take a look at the plastic. And if you've built Tasca kits before, you're familiar with this view. It's got the large hatches there. I love the 30 cals that this comes with. Here is the hull. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. What welds there are on it are good and crisp. Here's the sprockets. Give you the variety, the normal variety that Tasca does, which is really nice to have. Here we are with the clear parts. You've seen clear parts before. I'm not going to take them out of the bag here. They're the ones that come with all the Tasca kits, and they are very good. A little bit of photo etch, as you can see, and for some reason the covering I've got on the decal sheet covers it up. In this picture you really can't see it, but trust me, the decals are the typical Tasca decals. Very nice. Here's the tread they're giving you, the block tread on this. Interesting. And poly caps and some of that black mesh that they like to give you. Again, these Tasca kits, they're really nice. So here's the other important part, your late turret, and it's a low bustle turret, which is interesting. Some of these had low bustle, some of them had high bustle. Here's your hatches and rear end part. And your typical Tasca machine gun, your Cal 50 sprue that's just absolutely amazing. I've bought several of these just on their own. Transmission cover, your barrel and the trunnion, whatnot, all for it. Again, more of your typical Tasca parts, your hull patches that you won't be using on this. And your lower hull. And more of the gun assembly. And no, this is not a duplicate tree. This is your other transmission cover that it comes with. Which is great. I love the fact it's got the two different ones. Your figure looks like the M4 air cleaner and the armor plate above the engine. I can't remember what that's called. And then finally your wheels. And again, Tasca gives you your choice, which is wonderful. And then there's this piece here. I don't know what it is. Sorry. But anyway, that's all she wrote. So, hey, thanks for joining us, folks. Hope you like this, and we'll see you next week.